Hey there, folks. This is Colin Chisholm with another episode of Streaming Wars just for you. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Great to see you. Nope, can't do that. Hear you. Nope, can't. Just great to have you. Welcome. This episode of Streaming Wars, I want to talk about a film I checked out on Netflix recently. It's called All Quiet on the Western Front. Now, that title probably sounds familiar. It's a very famous novel written by a German soldier after the First World War, and also was adapted into a film twice already. This one, obviously a modern take on that story, produced, acted by, directed by Germans. So it is from that German perspective, which is pretty refreshing in wartime cinema, because you don't always see that point of view. It's often the heroic Americans going to save the day. But what makes All Quiet on the Western Front such a success is that it is not a glorious war film. It is actually somewhat sneakily a excellent anti-war film. So this, basically, okay, I'll take you through it. So this, from the point of view, you're sort of led through this by a very young, new German recruit who signs up underage with all of his sort of school friends, and they get wrapped up in the moment. They are enraptured by this like very glorious propaganda speech, and then they think, yes, we're gonna march to Paris and we'll be victors, and won't this be a fun adventure? But it doesn't take very long for that dream to quickly come crashing down. It has this very ominous beginning where we see another young soldier basically gunned down on the front line, and his uniform is stripped off the body. It's washed, it's restitched, and sent off. And this new recruit, Paul, played by Felix Kammerer, I can't pronounce his name, German, sorry, gets this uniform, and it still has the former soldier's name stitched into it. And they say, oh, I think there's been a mistake. I think this belongs to someone else. And trying to basically they're lying to him or saying, no, that happens all the time. They just had the wrong size. Rip it out and give it to him. It shows like how everything, all the construct of war is sort of just this great lie. And the film doesn't pull any punches. It is a very disturbing, graphic, in your face illustration of just how horrific, inhuman, and alien warfare really is. Especially, World War I with the trenches and the gas, the flamethrowers, the enormous tanks that just sort of pulverize people into the dirt. It's rough. Not since like maybe Saving Private Ryan and that infamous storming of the Omaha Beach scene have I been so just sort of repulsed and moved at the same time by war footage. This film does such an excellent job, and I think the performances are also really, really strong. It tells a great story, a great like intimate and harrowing and interesting story about war. It doesn't glorify it. It doesn't say, look how great this sort of thing was. It shows just how cruel and awful it is, and I think that's important. And seeing that from the German point of view, I think adds weight to that. A really interesting sort of guest appearance in the film is Daniel Bruhl. You may know him from Captain America: Civil War and some other movie. He's Inglourious Bastards. He stars as Matthias Erzberger. He's like a high-ranking politician, and he's just trying everything he can do to just stop the madness, because he sees the inevitable thing where all these men are just going to be dead, and for a few kilometers have moved in the border, and he sees just how horrific that all is. He does a great job with this. But yeah, I think it's a great movie. I think it surprised me too. I just threw it on randomly. I think you should definitely check it out. It's a great thing to watch on Netflix, and have a look. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any thoughts or suggestions for me, I'd love to hear from you. I can be reached via email. I'm at colin.chisholm@herald.ca. But until next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.